This right now is the gravest threat facing the country. And Donald Trump is emboldening them by pardoning their compatriots who attempted to overthrow the United States government on January 6, 2021. One of the very real threats that we face in this country is white supremacy. And I don't just mean on a high level intellectual concept basis of white supremacy being enforced through the power of law in the country, which we're seeing. They're changing the name of ships in the Navy. Pete Hegseth has seen this done, he and Donald Trump, to change the names of ships that are named after black people, like Thurgood Marshall, like Medgar Evers. Seriously, that's taking place right now. But no, it's not racism. It's because of DEI or whatever nonsense. Improper ideology, Donald Trump says. It's racism. But I'm not talking about that kind of white supremacy. I'm talking about active white power movements, violent domestic terrorism suspects, terrorists, allegedly, who revere Adolf Hitler, who are Holocaust deniers out of one side of their mouth, and then love how many Jews were killed in the Holocaust out of the other side. And Donald Trump has emboldened these people. Donald Trump refused to disavow the endorsement of the former Grand Wizard of the KKK, David Duke, in 2016. Refused. I don't know about this. What? Donald Trump did say they were very fine people on both sides at Charlottesville, meaning one side was the Nazis, the other side was the anti-Nazis. Very fine people on both sides. He said it. They deny it. They want to change reality itself. But we witnessed it. We watched him say it. And right now, there's a rising move within right-wing circles of violent terrorist acts in the name of white supremacy, in the name of white power. Get a load of this headline from the AP just yesterday. FBI discovers cache of guns, armor, and Nazi paraphernalia while raiding home in Washington state. Law enforcement discovered a cache of weaponry and armor, including a machine gun and grenade launchers, along with Nazi paraphernalia during a raid of a home in Washington state, authorities said Tuesday. Derek Sanders, the elected sheriff of Thurston County, said in a Facebook post that the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division asked for his office for assistance Monday as an FBI Special Weapons and Tactics team executed a search warrant in Lacey near the state capital of Olympia, quote, as a result of violent robbery and theft of military weaponry and armor. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Seattle said in a statement to the Associated Press on Tuesday night that the search warrant related to an Army CID, that's the Criminal Investigation Division, an FBI investigation into an assault Sunday at Joint Base Lewis McChord just north of Olympia. Sanders' statement said 2 people were arrested and booked into Thurston County Jail for investigation of firearms-related offenses. Now, anytime people are amassing this kind of arsenal, let me back up. I grew up in northern Idaho, right? Mostly in northern Idaho. I lived in 5 states before I was 9 years old. That's something I've never said. That's true. So I grew up around guns. I may or may not be a gun owner right now. Trolls who threaten me with death and my wife with rape and death. So I'm not opposed to the private ownership of weapons at all. I took an oath and swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States. And in that Constitution is pretty plainly stated that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, there's another element to it. I'm not going to get into all that. I believe in gun control, though. I don't believe in easy, unfettered access to weapons of war. The AR-15 should not be commercially available to civilians. It is the same thing, other than a couple of components of the M16A2 service weapon, the same weapon that I was issued as a United States Marine. Okay? Having said all that, people having a lot of guns doesn't scare me. I'm not weirded out by it. I grew up with it, all right? But when you amass machine guns and grenade launchers, we're in a different space. That's not a collectible. That's not a home security mechanism. It's not a 9mm or a 45 or a shotgun. It's not that. And when you combine those elements, the grenade launcher shit and all that, with Nazi affection, an affection for fascism, getting riled up in your fascist beliefs because now there's a fascist in the White House, then we've got a problem. Back to the article. Quote, the suspects identified in this case were actively involved in Nazi white nationalist efforts, he wrote. The U.S. Attorney's Office statement said Army investigators had identified suspects in the assault at the military base, and the FBI executed the search warrant late Monday night into early Tuesday. In his post, Sanders said, agents had seized 35 firearms at the home, including short barrel rifles and an MG-42 machine gun, a type typically supported by a bipod, there's legs, not a tripod, but a bipod, where it's you lay down in the prone position or in a stable position, and you can fire with far more accuracy, all right, rather than, herky-jerky holding a weapon. Other seized gear included grenade launchers, explosives, body armor, ammunition, and ballistic helmets. And multiple rifles were staged at windows throughout the residence, the sheriff said. Why would you stage rifles at windows with an outward-looking vantage point? It's a defensive position. He posted photos from the home showing an array of weapons and ammunition and body armor surrounded by Nazi paraphernalia, including a red Nazi flag emblazoned with a black swastika. This should be on your radar, and you should ensure that this is on everyone else's radar, because as I've said many times, I don't want to say it, but it must be said, things are going to get worse before they get better. And this right now is the gravest threat facing the country. It's fascists, brown shirts, little Nazi troopers here who are in support of Donald Trump, most certainly. These aren't Biden voters, everybody. And Donald Trump is emboldening them by pardoning their compatriots who attempted to overthrow the United States government on January 6, 2021. These people are encouraged by the current political class in this country that is ruling the executive branch and the legislative branch. They'll deny it, but it is obvious that is the case. Donald Trump is promoting Holocaust-denying Nazi sympathizers to high positions within the federal government. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please make sure you're subscribed to this channel. We are trying to grow this operation to be out of the easy reach of messing with us. Independent media, very important right now. I would ask you, if you have it within your financial means, to donate $2 a month to help support this work, to help me make these videos. Click the join button below, become a channel member right here on YouTube, or go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Both those are fantastic ways to help support this work. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. I would appreciate it very much. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Be better than this. Take care of one another.